Hey everyone, it's Theo from Spectrum Gardening. So I'm over at the Hope Community Garden today, and we're going to be talking about garlic scapes and how to harvest them. So what is a garlic scape? Well, a garlic scape is actually the flower of the garlic. It doesn't actually contain any seeds, it contains little garlic cloves inside it. So the reason you'd want to take it off the plant is so if you're taking it off, the plant itself is going to focus more on increasing its bulb size. And as we all know, people who buy garlic or people who grow garlic want the biggest bulbs possible. So that's the reason why you'd want to take it off. The reason you want to leave it on, let's say you're a garlic farmer and you're wanting to increase your garlic production, but however you can't afford or you don't want to spend thousands of dollars on garlic seed. So what you would do, you would leave the scape on to the point that it was completely done flowering, and you would harvest that actual flower and you would take out the garlic cloves, which are usually around the size of rice. And you would dry those garlic cloves along with your dry garlic bulbs, and here on the west coast we would plant it again in the fall, early winter. And from the first year of planting to the very end, it takes about 3-4 years for that clove to actually form a good size garlic bulb. Yes, there's quite a bit of time and investment to grow out the clove that way. However, it's much cheaper. Red Russian garlic. This is a very common type of garlic to grow in the Fraser Valley, both by farmers and by homeowners, and it's actually very sought after by buyers at farmers markets, despite its difficulty to being grown in our climate sometimes. So if we take a look at here, you can see the scape is just forming on this one and just forming on this one. So this is actually going to be a variety that's going to be scaping later, and that's going to be ready later versus some earlier varieties and some other varieties that we're going to be looking at today. Here we have the variety of music. So there's already a big difference between the scapes. You can see on this one here, it's already come up and it's almost curled around, almost already. There's another one that's doing really well beside it. There's a third one that we can see over there. And if we pan slowly over there, you can see that one in the back far over there. So this variety is scaping a lot earlier than the Red Russian. They're just different types and they'll be ready at different times. Garlic scapes are ready when they've completed their first curl. Kind of like this one right here. This one is a great time to pick it. It's not going to be tough or anything like that. And it's also not going to be too small. If you take a look at this one over here, it's almost starting on its second curl. So the longer that you leave the garlic scape on the plant, the tougher and the woodier it's going to get. If you take a look at something over here like this, it's still quite small. It's not nearly to the stage of harvestable yet. It needs about another week or so at minimum. But you know, if this was my garlic patch, I'd be coming out here every few days and I'd be picking what's ready, and I'd be looking at the other plants to see what kind of stages they're at. When you're harvesting your garlic scapes, the easiest way to do it is just to take your hand and just do a quick bend like that, and it's going to snap off fairly easily, just like this. What you don't want to do, however, is when you're harvesting them, is to pull the scape out. What that's going to do is actually that's going to create a hole in the plant, and you can see that this hole is going to go straight down to the garlic bulb and let a whole bunch of water in. If you're trying to decide what kind of garlic to grow, keep in mind that only hardneck varieties will produce scapes. Softnecks will not. However, softneck varieties will keep longer than hardneck varieties. So after you've harvested your scapes, that's typically the time you want to stop watering your garlic, and you want to be waiting for the leaves to die back so you can harvest it. Thanks for watching, and if you did like this video or find it helpful, give us a thumbs up. We really appreciate it. And if you have any questions or comments about what I showed you, throw them down in the section down below and I will answer them. So if you're wondering, how do you actually use scapes? How do you cook them? What recipes do you put them in? Make sure to subscribe to us, because we will be doing a follow-up video that will be including a few different recipes and kind of explaining exactly how you can be using scapes in your own cooking at home.